I'm going to show you some ability names and then some icons.
And I'm supposed to guess the champion.
You need to guess the champion and then the ability.
How many guesses?
You have 3 guesses.
Makes sense. No passive? Bro, why didn't you put passives? Passives is the cool one.
There's no passives. Lovely.
Wow.
Shattering Strike.
Shattering Strike.
You started kind of fast here.
Yeah, I started with a hard one.
It's a strike, so it's probably someone that strikes.
I don't think this is a top liner.
It sounds like Mordekaiser.
Mordekaiser? It's not Mordekaiser.
Sounds like some bruiser.
So I assume this champion has a big weapon.
Yone?
Yo, no.
Aatrox.
Aatrox, no. It's not Master Yi.
Master Yi.
It's not a mid laner.
I'll say Lissandra Q.
Lissandra.
Okay, I need to list all the champions in my head from A, so it's gonna take like 20 minutes. Echo? No. Fizz? No. Talon? No.
It's not Mordekaiser?
Okay, I don't know.
It's a mount fight W.
Actually, isn't Shatter?
Remove armor or shield. So I'm thinking either Kong Q or Real Q.
That's Red Strike, not really.
Wukong?
I guess it's Rel, maybe?
Real Q.
Oh, but like, who plays this champ? No one plays this champ.
Mistral Bolt.
Mistral Bolt.
That doesn't sound too familiar either.
Oh my god, it has to be some cosmic boy.
There's no way this is an ability.
Sounds like some AD carry though.
That's Ezreal.
Ezreal.
Is it Ash?
Ash.
Action.
That sounds like a cringe support ability.
Yumi Q.
Bard? I've never seen this ability before in my life. Now I see what's going on here. So it is Vex.
Vax, the ult, the E.
Bolt sounds like it's gonna be like his spam ability, which I think is his Q.
I guess seeing Q.
So I'm gonna say Vex Q.
Vex!
Why did I think more?
We're waiting for icons for now.
Hallowed Mist.
I've seen the name before.
Didn't you have this in Pop Quiz literally like 1 edition ago?
I've definitely heard this. Senai, right?
Senna.
What?
There's no way. How is it not Senna actually?
So it's Viego.
Diego E.
What?
How is that possible? Oh my god.
This is Akali. It actually looked much easier on YouTube, you know?
Is this Grand W?
Grand W.
God's sake. Oh my god.
Furious Bite.
Furious Bite.
You wish champion bites.
Some animal champion.
This sounds like Warwick.
Warwick.
Okay, so it's a jungler, yeah?
Lee Sin does not bite.
Trando.
Trando.
But like how?
Cho'Gath.
Cho'Gath.
Dragon doesn't bite like that.
Ah, it's a Volibear?
Volibear?
I really don't know. I would say Volibear.
I already told you it's not Volibear.
Yeah, I know. Maybe we can make it. So it's Volibear.
But there is no other champion that bites. Oh, Rek'Sai.
Rek'Sai.
Is it Rek'Sai E?
Oh yeah, right, she bites.
Maybe we should put casters there. It's not easy.
Okay, I'm just gonna say when Hallowed Mist came up, it was like Senna, and then like all of them together said Senna. And it wasn't. It was.
Yeah.
It is. There are very few things which make me feel as intelligent and completely brainless as Pop Quiz.
I know that. Well, awesome piece of content there. Lovely to see the players. But now, time for the games. As said, our first 2 games have the 4 teams that are in the bottom of the pack fighting to find their way up. Namely, right now, Vitality and SK Gaming. We started off Ready Check with an intervention possibility for BDS or for Misfits. It was Misfits in the end that won. We're going to do the same thing for Vitality versus SK and asking which of these 2 teams can be saved. Let's start with SK. What is not working for them, Trouble?
I mean, I think we have to start from the get-go, and I feel like the drafts and the champions they play are a little bit like stale and boring. Like, if Quickshot can guess what Genax is going to play into Ornn, then you can tell that this pick has been done years prior, right? And I'd love to see a little bit of flair in that early game, picking the same champions that just are so passive in the early and just scale into the late against other teams that love to play aggressive and proactive in the early game. You're going to lose so much, you're never going to be able to recover.
And I think a lot of the learning which SK had to do in Spring was around that early game. Their stats this split haven't looked good again. They're going to have to do that learning again again, but it's sad for this team that they have to go back to that point.
A reminder for everyone that Gadget is playing as the marksman on this team since Jezu is not feeling that well. You may know him, of course, from going also to Worlds with the Unicorns of Love. But I'm going to do the same thing I did in Ready Check. Nymira, you chose to protect SK's honor. 30 seconds. The timer is coming in just a second. You have 30 seconds to tell us why SK will probably, let's say, find the new wind.
Okay.
We don't have a timer, so I'm just gonna 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so SK, we have seen them do this before in terms of come back from these early game deficits and also learn how to overcome them. There is precedent there. This team has stuck together through similar kind of difficult periods before, and I think that's going to do them a lot of good. I think maybe a shake-up in the bot lane could be Rift for the first game, but having someone to just change up something to, again, break open that staleness
23.
Can help. And the last thing is I play live audience in attack position and end my turn.
26 Mississippi, 27 Mississippi, I think. This is 30. Thank you so much for breaking down.
Were you counting yourself?
I was trying, but it's actually, I'm not really good at counting and listening to the producers. It was hard. So, SK, we've heard that they do have avenues. We've seen it from them in the past. Also, maybe Trouble Gadget will be a little bit of a new wind to shake things up.
I feel like Gadget brings so much new flair to that staleness we've been talking about. He plays Kathos in the bot lane, Seraphine, Science, you name it, he plays it. So that might give a little bit of a nod to the rest of the players to sort of experiment with different playstyles and champions.
Then let's talk about their opponents' Vitality. They do have 2 wins on the board, but I think we're still waiting for that explosion of Vitality to be really dominant in those games. So what has been lacking for them, Nymira?
Oh, there's been an awful lot lacking for them again, mostly in connective stuff, right? I feel like as individual players, that's not where the issues lie. It's about the linking up between Haru and the lanes. They've had a couple of sparks there, but it's not been nearly enough. There've been multiple players left on islands trying to find their own advantages and not stitching that together into something coherent.
Okay, Trouble, you are going to defend their honor and tell us why we should be excited of Vitality. The Black Shield, possibly, if, of course, you think that they have it in them.
Of course. Where's my camera? Production, I need the camera to defend Vitality right here. There. Okay. Can I get a zoom in, please? Can I get a zoom? Okay. Vitality have a literal world champion. I end my turn.
That's it. Okay, well, I mean, I think maybe that's immediately where I'll contest you unless you try to...
Okay. Just to be serious, though.
Do you have an Ezreal skin?
I feel like one of the biggest problems was the jungle support synergy in Spring, because we saw Labrov roaming the map endlessly, and he had lowest jungle proximity, but also lowest duo proximity, but also very low kill participation. So you're like, what is this guy actually achieving on the map? Now with the addition of Haru, I feel like this is what he was doing in X7 as well when he was playing the ERLs. He is guiding and micromanaging his support, this time Labrov, and we do see this early game coming into fruition with the 2.
Yeah, we gotta say, for Haru, he is lagging behind the other junglers when it comes to the early game pressure he can put on the map, so definitely a focal point for Vitality. Vitality and SK Gaming, 2 teams scraping for an all-important win in this match. Drakos and Caedrel, over to you.
Thank you very much, Sjokz. Thrilled. I just need very positive adjectives. Thrilled to see this second game.
I feel the positivity. I'm full of it. I'm excited.
Curious to see where Vitality are going to end up as the split continues, because I think the 2 biggest shocks this season thus far have been the rise of Astralis.
Why are you talking like this?
The rise of Astralis, alongside the untimely downfall of Team Vitality.
Who will rise?
Will their hands be enough in this game?
6th place on the line to get into the playoffs.
Why can't they go higher than that, Mark? Why did you say 6th place on the line? We're 3 weeks in.
Okay, well...
Are you a doubter, Mark?
No, I'm not a doubt. I just, with Vitality, it's like, surely they'll make it. They didn't. Surely they'll do... No, they didn't. Oh, they've lost again. So that's the vibe of Vitality right now. So they gotta prove it to me.
Absolutely do. This is an important game, as every game is important when you're this far down in the standings, but it's time to see what SK are going to bring to bear, because remember, yes, it is full-strength Vitality slowly growing with their brand new jungler Haru, but it is also Gadget in the bot lane.
Are we supposed to talk over the music?
I'm not sure. I just kept going because I thought if I feigned confidence that it would seem like I was doing what I was supposed to.
Yes, Drakos. Good point. Gadget in the bot lane. Subbing in for Jezu, who is feeling unwell, Jezu. So recover soon if he's listening. And just as a little teaser for what Gadget's probably got in store for us, he's already played Set AD carry. He's already played Karthus. He's already played Twitch.
To be clear,
Last
he
year-
played set with Senna.
With Senna, of course. Last year he was known for Seraphine, Karthus, Ziggs, all these things. Seraphine already taken away, so maybe we'll see some wacky picks out of him. I think Twitch Yumi would be a thank you from SK if they get it, so we'll see what Vitality do.
Obviously, one of the LCL players have a long history of being innovators, all the way back to Albus Nox Luna and 4 with things like the Poppy and Nivea, Gadget, carrying a lot of that on. See if he continues that forward with SK Gaming. For now, though, banning away the Seraphine thinks it makes sense, was buffed on this patch. Definitely a very oppressive champion alongside the Wukong. GP rising, it feels like, in priority. Of course, also want to limit that from Alphari, excellent GP player. Corki ban coming out.
Yeah, Corki just kind of flavor of the month right now. It's first pick in EU. So powerful. You can slow the game down, play for poke, and you don't really have to force anything. Package is a very simple way of being able to check the box of should we contest this fight? Yes, I have package. No, I don't. And of course, scaling again, just so powerful. Senna still up. Twitch Yumi still up. Yumi is deadly. You know, Seraphine, Kale, Yumi, these three are extremely deadly to give across to a team. Ornn as well. We'll see if SK want to early rotate that, because it looks like ease of execution in the first couple of weeks is the aim of the game.
Yep, Yumi holding on to 100% presence despite the nerfs on 12-12. Not enough to take her out of pro play quite yet, it would appear. Enough to take her out of this pick ban phase, though. She has been removed. Ahri going to be the first pick, the blind pick.
So they value Ahri over Senna Tom. That's quite fascinating, because, I mean, it always gives a counter pick of Lissandra. We've seen it time and time again. We'll see if SK go into it. They can take away Senna here. And we've seen what Gadget can do. We already talked about the set that he played in the Prime League. There's Gilius' Lee Sin. They obviously think that Viego not high in the prio list. They want to go for a playmaker.
Time to... I mean, we made a rhyme about it. This is not the flashiest moment for Gilius at the moment, but Gilius, king of Lee Sin. Send a guy. I mean, we'll see if he can have that level of performance. Would be important. Haru, of course, hasn't been having the flashiest split quite yet. Gilius in a bit of a similar situation. See if either of them can rise up in today's game. For now, though, Team Vitality just figuring out what they want to do on the bottom side of the map. It looks like safety is the name of the game. Safety and a bit of scaling in the form of the Ezreal. Priority support pick would be interesting. Karma Ezreal, again, alongside the Ahri. I don't love it, Caedrel. No. I know the potential power, but the actual power is so rarely seen.
They heard you. They said, you know what? I'll take your point and I'll raise you a Gnar. So that's what they've opted into. So that forces SK into a hole here. Do you pick Tahm Kench? Do you pick Lissandra? Or do you counter the Gnar with whatever Genax wants to play into it? Looks like they're going to go for a counter mid, hover for now. There's lots of mind games when Senna gets picked up. We see this a lot in the LCK where blind Renata comes out when the enemy team first picks Senna, because Renata is good into Tahm Kench and you expect them to pick it, right? Here Vitality could pick it away if they want. Ezreal Tahm, not the strongest lane though, so then you have to answer what do they play with Senna if Tahm Kench is gone. So there's a lot of mind games you can play. Looks like no one's going to take any, and there's the Lissandra for Sertuss expecting a Tahm Kench ban.
And I am a big Lissandra fan. Obviously, a champion is very limited. There are great times to pick Lissandra, and every other time is a terrible time to pick Lissandra. But this is one of those good times, one of those great times. So excited to see what Sertuss can do on the champion. Passive, very powerful in fights. Lee Sin and Lissandra, very easy setup and picks. See if it forces Perkz into taking Cleanse. Losing TP would be disastrous.
Would indeed, and I'm just curious what Haru picks here. I think Volibear is the... As it's ran away, Volibear is the first one that I would think of as the jungler to be picked up here, because Lissandra Lee Sin is so powerful. You need a jungler that can withstand that and match a 2v2. I think you're going to have to dig deep to find something that can do it, because I don't think there is. Maybe something like Poppy could work into the Lee Sin. We'll see if Haru has that in his champion pool. But expecting for now SK to pick their AD carry or whatever Gadget's going to play, or Treatz perhaps, on 4, and then the last pick for top lane. But the thing is, they've already blinded Gnar, so you could just pick top instead. Looks like they want to take away the Ezreal Rakan, the ease of engage. Tahm Kench taken away. And yeah, I'm just curious what Haru picks jungle here. I feel like Poppy is probably your best bet.
So far, only blocking the Lee Sin mobility. Of course, Lissandra just reappears on the Frozen Pass. Swain going to be taken away.
Okay.
Gadget, you can see a little bit of a little grin there. That little grin is he's just a man with a deep, deep champion pool.
Yeah, could have been a Swain Senna bot. It's gonna look
Whippo
like
flashbacks.
Whippo flashbacks indeed. Was it Swain Pike they were playing? Hilly Whippo? So much.
Pike GP, Swain. It was a lot. They played a lot of weird stuff.
So there's Camille, it looks like. Yeah, Camille into Gnar, good matchup. Gnar pushes in early. Camille has a lot of kill pressure on Sunder, especially in this matchup. Ult comes in, Lissandra follow up, that Gnar is as good as dead. You have incredible dive and lockdown on the Ezreal right now. The only question is, what do you pick bot lane here? SK saving that counter pick for it. Alistar Ezreal is going to be the bot matchup. If they play some kind of range support here, they can punish... Oh yes! Oh my god!
Every time a new champion comes out, every caster wants to be the first one to cast it, and they always see it needs to be
Yes!
Okay, so let's hold on Velvet point for now, because we might have a Karthus Senna bot lane as well, which would be incredible dive. Lee Sin, Camille, Lissandra, Karthus ult, stopwatches. Need 5 stopwatches here, Vitality, because we've got Karthus Senna bot as well. This is gonna be a scrappy game.
I gotta say, obviously a difficult situation for SK Gaming, not being able to play with the primary starter in Jezu, and again, hope that he feels better. But Gadget at least bringing a little bit of his own personal flair, not falling back, not stepping away from the things that he knows, willing to show his comfort zone, his area of expertise live and on stage. But Haru, we said we wanted to see more from him. This is the opportunity. Lay down the gauntlet, because if you played against this champion in solo queue, let's call her game warping to keep the language favorable for the balance team, and not use the B word, although we'll probably get to use it later at some point, I'm sure.
Is it the bro? That one?
Yeah, that one.
Okay,
oh,
we'll
yeah. I guess I probably should have been a little more specific. Not the actual swear.
Okay, so we've got a Belvet. We'll have to keep track of Haru this game. I'm sure he's been spamming it in solo queue and spamming it in scrims. Still SK comp. We'll talk about that first. A lot of burst, a lot of dive, a lot of damage. We've talked about it before. Should have a pushing bot as well. Extremely strong mid jungle. Now, it's on Vitality to find those outplays. I mean, the Belvet is going to look to power farm. It's similar to Mastery in a way, where it just wants to scale, get as much stacks as possible, and we'll keep our eyes on that as the game starts. It's always the champions of like, check the stacks, Senna souls, how many? Belvet stacks, how many? You know, that's kind of what the vibe's going to be.
Look forward to it, production.
You know,
we will ping you every 30 seconds.
Season 35, all 6-7 champions. What's the stacks?
Yeah, Belvet has 100 a stack, but Liberty, I can't think of a champion name on the fly. I can't even make one up. It's hard.
What's that, sorry?
I was going to try to think of a champion name to work out your theoretical situation, and now I'm just embarrassed myself.
We got a toss.
Thank God. Time for the toss. SK Gaming versus Team Vitality. Let's go! Welcome to the game where we just talk at you for a long time about champions, because there's a Belveth and there is a Senna Karthus bottom. Now, Gadget's interesting in that he doesn't always like to take the Senna. He will give the Senna to his support, let his Senna play this out. He's happy to be the person who farms in this lane. He's happy to not be the person who farms in this lane. But Karthus, a lot of global pressure, paired with the dive threat of this top side, alongside a Senna who can just roam and pick up a lot of souls. This is an interesting and unique SK composition. Meanwhile, Vitality pushing in.
Going for the level 1, and of course that little kind of, I don't know what to call it, that the directional shape next to Haru is the directional dashes. You can see it already. That's the direction that you can dash in.
Like Urgot shotgun legs, each individual dash has its own unique cooldown.
And there's a way to min-max the clear. As Carzzy, hang on a second, level 1, this is going to hurt.
Damage. Getting slowed down by the Senna, he was brutal there when paired with the Karthus.
So the way you min-max the clear with this dash is you basically proc your jungle item, and of course you want to, on single target damage, you want to proc them all instantly, but on things like Raptors, you want to be a tiny bit slower so the jungle item ticks, and then you can refresh it on cooldown. So we'll see how it go. Looks like it into red, into Crux. And we'll just track the clear speed as it gets faster and faster and faster. Of course, Belvet just wants to play for that attack speed. Every monster, minion, champion kind of takedown like this, you'll get a stack. One stack generates lavender, and for each lavender stack, you get bonus attack speed.
Yeah, basically, you get stacks when you do stuff. Stacks give you attack speed. The amount of attack speed scales per level, but ultimately, the exact numbers aren't important at this point. We'll get into the math later. Caedrel and I have a very exciting presentation to show you, but for now, just know she attacks faster. She doesn't have a capped attack speed, or it's much higher cap, rather, essentially, but not quite infinite.
We're holding on to our presentation.
She attacks very fast. We'll hold the presentation for now to keep an eye on the early game as Treatz and Gadget, to the surprise of no one, have absolute control here on the bottom side. This is an incredible pushing lane. This is so frustrating for them to play against. And Alistar level 1 is got to be one of the least menacing in the game.
It's the worst level 1 in the game in lane phase, especially as well. Right now, it's a little bit more threatening because you're under a combo threat where you can be Q flashed and knocked into tower. But until that, you basically have perma push, and that's what this Karthus bot lane wants to achieve. It just wants to achieve perma push to keep the Alistar on the tower and keep track. As we see, both junglers full clearing towards top. Gilius on the Lee Sin, gonna try to make some early plays to this team. Haru is going to finish off the wolves and move towards his blue, just dropping a ward there, Gilius, in case of an early invade. And I think Haru just wants to get this full clear off, get to level 4, and then look for some kind of crab contest. See who gets there first. Looks like for now, Haru is a lot faster.
And I think this might be the time for the Velvet. Do you think this is the time? Should we tell people, are people ready? You got your tools ready?
Yeah.
All right, folks, this is how it works. Belveth has a base attack speed. We abbreviate this as BAS. Caedrel's going to loosely do this here in front of you.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Okay, BAS, got it.
BAS. Okay, every time she kills a large monster, champion, etc., she's going to get a little bit more attack speed. That's going to scale. Okay, then what else you need to consider is their ulti is also going to give her infinitely attacking damage buffs on top of other people. If you're having trouble keeping up with the math, that's okay. You're just going to square this, all right? Then you're going to wait for the position of the Elon Musk satellite. You're going to wait for Caedrel to have that taken off screen because production does not like this meme.
Okay.
It will then be brought back. And that is how Belveth works. And if that doesn't make any sense to you, welcome to the club. It's so complicated.
I had a huge presentation ready. I had the whole maths formula. I learned it in school. It's 7 stacks so far. And then the end equation, you know what the result is?
What?
It spells broken in algebra.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was ready to get the whole thing ready.
Wow, that's good. That was the B word. You brought it out
That was
early.
the B word, yeah.
So here's the thing. When your teacher said you'd use math and then you never used math, they just knew that Belveth was coming out. So they were always right, and I'm just the first to tell you. So hope you paid attention in algebra.
Lane gank, though.
For now, though, Belveth, lane ganking. This is a champion who, when she gets close to you, does a ton of damage very quickly. She's all about on-hit effects. But it is hard for her to get close to champions without assistance from her allies or Void Coral to jump to, which is the thing that gets left behind from post-level 6 onward from champion kills or epic monster kills. We'll keep you updated with the more important specifics.
And that spell right there, the E. That's the spell that gets me all the time in solo queue. You think you've got the kill, but then one button is pressed and she has a 70% damage reduction.
Yep.
While lifestealing.
And attacking very quickly.
And damaging you.
And executing you, doing more damage.
Yeah. It's very frustrating to play against. We'll see it later on in fights as she dashes forwards and maybe it does look a little bit vulnerable. We'll just see the E popped and then the damage reduction come in and see how much lifesteal Haru can get out of it. But for now, full clear is the aim of the game for Haru, so SK want to force something early. That bot push we talked about at the Alistar, yep, they're going to try to force the dragon out of it. Labrov, not even in lane, is roaming towards the top side of the map. Maybe looking for a dive onto Genax, who was low, but he's base and TPing back, so no play to be done there. And free dragon for SK.
Solid early start, leveraging that early lane priority. Treatz going to grab a couple extra souls on top of that. See if he wants to go for the Umbral Glaive first, just to have extra vision control. Right now, early game going well. Labrov trying to spice it up a bit by just roaming out, but he does get spotted a bit sloppy there. Doesn't mean he's going to have to move in, use these stacks, try to just help Perkz get lane control. But remember, for Haru, stealing any camps does help him scale that much quicker, that much better. Now, in general, if you're looking to play Belveth, Blade of the Rune King is the universally accepted core item. Past that, there is a lot of options. Haru is a guy who likes to go towards the Kraken Slayer, further emphasizing on-hit effects. Now, her attack speed is so fast that she gets reduced effectiveness from those effects, but when your attack speed can get up to 90, it doesn't really matter. That said, Iceborne Gauntlet, or rather Frozen Fist, on top of Stridebreaker. There's a lot of debate right now in community pro or casual players between what are actually the best items are for her at this point.
Yeah, normally after the Blade Kraken, you build more tanky-esque, or if you want to get that tanky-esque early, you do go for that Frostfire early. I've seen Rage Blades on it from Marcoon. We'll see what he opts into this game. Haru, but like I said, expecting some kind of Kraken Slayer / Blade build. And then tankiness is what you need, because you basically have enough damage from that point onwards.
Yep. Gets a lot of damage innately. Needs help sticking to targets. Champion, I'm curious to track. So far, the downside of this champion being a jungler is that we don't get to see a lot of what she does yet. She's hit a lot of jungle camps.
Yep.
And she's going to continue to hit those jungle camps, but we've yet to really get to see what she can do.
So she has 12 stacks right now. I believe it's level 13 that turns into 1%.
Yeah, so the amount of attack speed you get per stack scales up to level 13 where you're getting 1% per stack.
Yeah.
So very significant breakpoint.
So Labrov now has been hovering around mid so many times. Might get Sertuss ult here.
The Frozen Fist to flawlessly change CC. That's a very difficult thing to do, but they make it work. These guys have been playing WoW arenas. That was clean.
Just has to flash away there, Sertuss. Ignite burn from Labrov. Doesn't actually use the ultimate, but he has TP. Lucky for him. The only thing that stings here is he's going to have to watch this wave die. I think he's going to miss the cannon. Perkz going to try to cancel him, but Gilius is here.
Sertuss can leap forward. Perkz does have to cleanse, though, so the most they could really hope for is to get that cleanse out.
All the meanwhile, Haru just farming up Gilius, covering these lanes, forcing these dragons. Top CS deficit. Alphari is winning out on that matchup. We expect the Camille to start to swing the matchup in her favor when she gets towards the Sunder. But Gnar meriting an early lead should help him out. Get towards that Mythic first. And yeah, bot push still in favor of SK. So early gold leads going over to Vitality. Looks like the lanes and the farming in their favor. But SK just maintain this bot push.
Such a difficult game right now for Vitality to play. Top side at least is going well for them for now. Does get harder as Camille gets more items, but Early Tabby's rush. Alphari knows what his job is to do in this lane. Control the Camille, shut her down, limit her ability to farm, stop her from roaming into the mid lane and making Ari's life difficult.
I think Vitality are just pretty happy right now with the fact that their lanes are winning, right? That's all that's important. You know, you have a Karthus Senna into your Alistar lane, but you're still up in CS. The Ahri is counterpicked by Lissandra, up in CS. The Gnar is counterpicked by Camille, up in CS, right? So the fact that they can get topside pushing and have CS leads, and they've only dropped the Dragon so far, is in their favor. But Herald is where the problems will start. Vitality need to make sure they can test this, because that could swing a lane into SK's favor, which is what they want to avoid. Alphari playing with fire.
Haru stepping forward, looking to land the knockup, isn't going to get anything knocked down. Is going to be locked up. They're trying to shut it down. He's trying to heal up. If they get a reset in this fight, though, it's going to be big for Haru. SK now retreating. They know how important this Herald is. They're willing to burn so many resources just to get him away from this objective.
See what happens here, because the Herald's reset. Labrov's on the way. It's a 4v5. SK have the numbers advantage, but they're lacking so many ultimates. Maybe Vitality want to try to steal this one away. It's on Perkz with his ultimate.
Gen X going forward, trying to lock down Haru. If they kill Haru, it gets so much easier for the entire team. Damage reduction, he's waiting. He's holding on to the cooldown as he goes. Labrov, absolute hero plays. They start to turn it back. Gadget is burning down. Gadget, level 5, first blood coming out. It's a bloodbath on the top side as Gilius leaps back, and those are the Lissandra thralls you have to keep your eye on. Burning them down. Labrov thought he had the turn, but SK are too strong in these skirmishes. Perkz, Haru, they want to go for the steal.
They want to back off, though. SK have no jungler. Sertuss might be in trouble. Flash charm, he's going to
nice
miss.
Sidestep, good bit of damage fired back. Haru has the damage reduction. He's going to get away. Herald stands.
Yeah, biggest winner here is Carzzy. He's been hitting the bot tower this entire time. 3 plates have fallen from SK, but they got themselves 2 kills. A lot of CS lost. Gadget level 5, Carzzy level 7, almost level 8. So a 2-level lead in the AD carry role and 3 plates is lost for SK picking up those 2 kills.
And while they did stop the Herald, it came at such a great cost. And yes, they do get some kills traded back for it, but not nearly enough to set the gold in their favor. Take a look back at this replay.
So, they have no ultimates on Lee Sin and Lissandra, but they know they need to turn because Labrov's here. This knockup from Alistar, 4-man, it looks like for a fraction of a second Vitality can turn this, but the exhaust of the Perkz gets cleansed off instantly, and he has no Q to follow up any AoE damage. If Alphari was Mega Gnar there, we could have seen an incredible 4v5 from Vitality, but he doesn't have it. He ends up falling 2 kills to SK, and with Gilius being so low HP, they had to back off. I think they're going to try to reforce this soon, though, because Treatz moved towards mid. Gadget has the ult. We'll see if Carzzy joins the fight this time around. Dragon's up as well, so it's just a case of picking the objective you want to force.
And again, we're going to talk a lot about Bel'Veth in this cast. If you played a lot against her, this is going to be information that you may already know. But the reason why SK will and probably continue and already did commit so many resources to the Herald is that Bel'Veth gets huge advantages from that. Not only does she get her true form, which is just a general stat buff, a lot of good things, which we can explain in more detail later, but it's an empowered version which spawns extra minions that help her push. All you need to know is that for Bel'Veth, Herald is like 2 Heralds or more worth of effective pushing power for her exclusively.
Yeah, so it looks like SK want to contest that. You can see they're contesting mid-wave already, and Gilius is posturing towards the top side. Haru's there as well, but Labrov is nowhere to be seen. Level 5 on this Alistar, needs the level 6 if he wants to join this. Alphari has a little bit of top push. He's fishing for information with Haru, who spots out Gilius, and I think it looks like they're giving it up. As I say that, you can see Carzzy and Labrov sprinting towards topside. Will they be here in time? Haru's just patiently waiting for the team to arrive. Could take the Scryer's Bloom here and get vision on it.
Should be going for it.
I think they're
level
too
8.
late
This
here.
is big.
This is odd for Vitality. I think they're too late on the collapse. SK can probably get out.
Ulti. Gilius gonna finish it. Herald taken away. That's big. First of 2.
Charm misses.
Forward. Charm getting caught back. Root coming in as well. So SK will get the Herald and disengage. Well played.
Yeah. I think Vitality just kind of mismanaging their timers in their head there. They're moving their bot lane up, even though the Herald's gonna die, and now Gadget can push out bot and get a plate. They could have taken Dragon, but they haven't. They aren't diving top because SK can defend it, and now you're just forced to base. So what could have been a free Dragon or an earlier contest has now gone, and SK get themselves the Herald.
Well played. Again, doubly important against the Bel'Veth, and Haru now completing that first Adam Kraken Slayer will shred through these camps, is going to be a force to be reckoned with in the fights to come. If he can get in range of people, that is, of course, again, one of the things that holds this champion back from being absolutely unstoppable.
So Haru's going to pick up the Drake, and they are going to trade off the objectives.
We can now get true form. What you see there, Bel'Veth true form, 60-second duration. She's going to slap people with those big old wings. Or walk around and farm the jungle for 60 seconds. Probably more likely.
That's what you're going to see. And it's only going to get worse the more she hits the target and the more attack speed that she picks up. So Kraken already picked up, expecting Blade next. Very, very fast clear, the more items you get, of course, because the amount of attack speed you're getting, the damage from these items, the faster you clear, it's just exponential growth in a sense, right? And that's what you want to look for Vitality. The slower the game is, the more you can stack up, the more you can farm up, and the happier the Bel'Veth will be. So SK have found themselves one play so far. They're going to need more. They put their bot lane mid right now, and they have Herald. So are they going to break open mid, or are they going to move this bot lane to a side lane? They have a lot of engage, right? Alessandro ult with a Karthus ult flying on top, a Lee Sin kick. There's a lot of single target damage bursts that they can find. They just need the target to do so. Labrov expects a top play. That's why he's hovering here. But for now, Gilius just farming up.
Been a bit of a quiet game after those initial skirmishes. Still, Vitality pulling so far ahead in CS. You can just see Velvet just one-shotting Scuttle Crab. They do a lot of work if they misstep here. If they get over-eager to force onto Carzzy. Gilius stepping a little bit too far forward. Nice wall of pain, just to make sure that Haru can't move in there.
Yeah, and Haru will need to be careful a little bit. Of course, the way he's building, he will be quite squishy. And if he can't get his E off or anything like this, and he gets chain CC'd and dies, then obviously the Bel'Veth won't provide anything whatsoever. So he needs to be very cautious. There's a lot of spells that can really shut down the Bel'Veth here. So I think he's going to be very patient when it comes to team fights and play around the Alistar Gnar. You know, they're the main CC engagers, barring the Charm. They're your beefy frontliners. You need to play around them, find their targets, and then follow up and get that initial reset. Once you do that, then you can start to take over.
The difficult thing for SK as we get later, too, is you're going to have two champions in the Lissandra as well as the Camille who want to leap on top of a character who is so good. If you ever come to into melee range, she's going to get that attack speed, and again, her ultimate, the other part past the true form, past the extra minions, if she takes a Herald or Baron, etc., is just that the longer she hits a single target, the more damage she will do to it. So when you get late game, if you take any kind of extended fight against this champion, you will lose consistently. You either one-shot her, or you lose.
And that's capped against epic monsters, right?
Yeah, so she can't do that to Baron. That is the good news. That is capped against objectives. She can't do that to Baron. She can't do that to Dragon, where you're just going to be deleting it in 2 or 3 seconds. It's still a lot of damage to those objectives, but it is not unstoppable levels of damage.
So Haru picked up the Merc Treatz, expecting Legend Tenacity perhaps in his runes as well, because the amount of CC that can come out of Alessandro specifically. Yeah, get that reset, get the heal, get the health, get all the bonuses is what we're going to have to track in the fights for the Bel'Veth. Similar to Viego, you know, you pick up the corpse. We'll see what Haru can get done. No team fights just yet. We haven't seen an action. Basically, all he's been doing this game is power farming. We've hyped it up and we've said how much damage it can do and stuff like this, and what to keep your eye on. But it looks like Haru is just full clearing on cooldown. I mean, it's a fine way to play the game. You don't really contest many objectives. You got a Drake already, base and full clear 7, 8, 9, 10 times. And wait for the enemy to make a mistake. There's not that much proactivity they can find. You know, the Alistar has been under his tower, hasn't found roams. Alphari versus the mobile Camille is quite difficult. And SK have a lot of tools to respond. With their bot lane mid, and with the Unleashed teleport coming up, it means that Sertuss can match any plays on the map, and Perkz cannot. So you have to play around the top side. Otherwise, you're at a numbers disadvantage from the get-go.
Definitely. For now, Gold stays within touching distance. 16 minutes in, 2 kills, keeping SK even in that overall, despite the farm discrepancies. Gadget working towards level 11. Big for Karthus to get the extra rank in the ultimate. And the extra itemization is Jenex getting a bit of damage down, like he's able to walk away from that one.
Yeah, this is where the matchup becomes a bit difficult for Alphari. Early game, fantastic CS lead. Now, Sunderer on Camille. Oh, the all-ins hurt a hell of a lot. That Q2 from Camille with the Sunderer proc stings. Alphari's going to need Triforce, and then maybe he can start to contest, but it's only really going to get worse. Alphari just kind of wants to catch waves or push waves and look for team fights. Pushing waves, of course, when Camille is not there. And now Vitality are leaning to the bot side. It looks like they tried to play top side, but they want to make sure Alphari is safe. That bot tier one's pretty low. Dragon spawning soon. They've got a clear objective in mind. Gilius spots Haru.
Herald in a minute. Gilius has to be careful not to overcommit here. Pretty behind individually. It is mythic to mythic, though, at the end of the day. Treatz moves forward just to clear out a little bit of this vision. Still has not been able to complete the Umbral Glaive, so very slow on the ward takes.
Yeah, SK could TP here with Sertuss, get that 5v4 going straight away, but Perkz is moving down slowly.
Next, go over the wall.
TP behind on the way.
Potentially now going to be in trouble. Haru trying to move his way through. He's used 2 of his 4 potential jabs. Labrov now going in. Haru hasn't anybody yet, but he's looking to move in. Now stepping forward. He's going to get the true form. Gadget in trouble. Oh, here come the big slaps. Another reset coming through as well. Sertuss and Jenex on the run. Karthus ult not going to do a whole lot here. Finding a little bit of lockdown.
Here comes Bel'Veth.
Get away from Bel'Veth. The knockup now coming through. Jenex will make it over the wall. Flash forward from Haru. Just waiting on one more dash forward. He cannot stay in combat, but she's just so slow. Bel'Veth will not be able to finish the kill.
Yeah, wasn't able to catch up to Jenex there. Can't get the, you know, the autos out. Machine gun auto attacks. It's going to go towards the Dragon instead. A little bit of miscoordination for SK. You could see Gilius playing with Vitality there for a couple of seconds, and it looked like they wanted to engage, but the problem they had was the TP spot was just so far away. They TP on bot wave with Sertuss, and by the time he arrives, Treatz is already basically out the fight, and Gilius is dead. So miscoordination, you have to think for SK. They could have had a 4v5 on their hands and could have had a much better engage if they just pulled the trigger a little bit sooner. So You can see here, just as I just pointed out again, Gilius playing with them so much. They need to get a TP in here. Lissandra needs to TP in. Now the TP comes in, but they're already getting engaged on them. Labrov's just going to flash on Treatz here when he sees that, make the 4v4 happen. And then by the time the Lissandra arrives, Gilius is dead. Haru has to reset.
Oh, Perkz now running, but that's the concern. Camille, easy lockdown. Can't cleanse that.
Yeah.
Quick kill pickup. Now SK getting the second Herald of the game again. This is big. The good news for Vitality is when they won the fight, they're able to take the Dragon. The downside is behind on tempo when they did finally reset gives SK the access to the Herald. And on top of that, the kill onto Perkz.
It's absolutely that. Now SK might try to force a top tower. When that Mega Gnar runs out, 3v1 dive. Should be pretty easy. They don't have the Carzzy ult, but I think they have plenty of damage to do so. Here they go anyway.
Lock up. Alphari, does he have the ultimate cooldown? He is. He's going to throw them back, but he gets kicked back in the meantime as well. Slowly but surely getting burned down. Sertuss just about out of mana. Can they get anything back? It does not look like it.
So let's take stock. We come out of a replay, and Alphari's died. Perkz has died. Both Vitality solo lanes have fallen. SK have gotten their Herald. Top tower is gone. So this incredible fight from Vitality in the bot side river has now been completely negated by SK's plays on the side lanes.
And this is one of the things about SK's composition is they have so much CC, they have so many solid ways to start a fight, and it's not really like Vitality are lacking, they're just using it very well. That's a gadget! Oh, burning, ticking.
Doesn't die. Very close though in his debut LEC game there, as Jenax is going to pick up that bot tier 1. So 2 kills, 2 towers to SK. Vitality get the mid tower. Gadget escapes with his life. Carzzy ult is back up. Running Dark Harvest on this Carzzy, not first strike. Sometimes we see first strike as well because global ultimate, a lot of gold, and the true damage as well. And I sometimes see Carzzy just pop it even though there's not a kill, you know, just get the gold in.
Get those stacks. It's a stacking world. You said it, 2030, every champion's going to have a stack.
Yeah, we'll see how many Dark Harvest stacks this game he can get. As Sertuss is just going to catch the mid wave. Where's SK's next striking zone? It looks like the mid-tier one's still up, but they don't have a Herald, and Vitality's playing top side. So the question is, do you match Vitality and defend this, or do you go to the other side of the map? Looks like SK's decided to go to the other side of the map. Maybe Sertuss wants to pick up blue, Gilius wants to clear out his camps, crabs up, and contesting and defending this top tower just wastes way too much of their time, and time is sometimes a little bit more valuable than gold in those instances. And it looks like they value the mid push, looking for a pick. Alphari no flash. Doesn't get spotted, but he has to be careful here. Sertuss looking for Carzzy with no cleanse.
Alphari gonna have to walk away here. There's not really an avenue to get a fight started as Mega Gnar does fade. You're gonna need 15 seconds before he can build rage again, but maybe Labrov can do it. He already found one 4-man knock. He's going to find 2, and now keep your eyes on that Velvet. Try to go for a few more autos. Sertuss now running hard, trying to just continue to step forward. They're trying to burn him down. That's the Carzzy's ultimate. Maybe it's going to be enough to get this fight in their favor. SK firing back, but yet to find a kill. A clean charm. Gilius just deleted as Vitality find their footing in that fight.
Is Baron on the cards. Haru's trying to think if there's a red buff up here. He can heal up off that and then get the buff regen as well. That's exactly what he's going to do while his team start. Look at the regen. It's absolutely bonkers. And now he can just dash over if he wants to when it comes up. Looks like it's quite a long cooldown, so he's just going to run around. Now SK, can they contest this? TP coming in from Sertuss, no ultimate.
Of course, Haru only able to dash up the walls with the ultimate form, normally unable to move through them. Will make it into the Perkz in the end. He's going to start to stretch this objective. It might just be a 50-50 though. Lissandra in the middle of the pick. It's getting lower and lower. Haru, it should be an easy pickup, and he is going to grab this empowered Void Coral. They're going to tear through the entire team. He is so damn strong, but Treatz running a support. Oh, fighting the literal Queen of the Void. It's not going to look good. Oh my God. No. He just takes them down.
It's full HP again almost. Haru keeps the form up, and now they have themselves the Baron. Looked like SK wanted to contest the 3v5, but they had absolutely no chance in doing so. And it was SK who the ones looking for a pick, looking to pounce on top of Vitality. But Vitality were waiting for them to do so, and then they got flanked.
And now we will see an incredibly difficult hold as we take a look back at this fight.
So this is the Baron replay, not the actual team fight. So watch Labrov's flash here from Jenax. Flashes away from the E so he lives as long as possible. Wants to make sure he finds the combo. He buys Jenax's time, so Jenax trying to kill the supports all this time while Haru finishes off the Baron. Sertuss falls, and now it's just a 2 versus 4. There's nothing to be done here. Jenax just gonna run, Treatz gonna get chased down.
And you can see how determined SK are to just try to take away the empowered Void Coral, which we'll get to see in a moment, and how strong Haru is when you're left alone as individual 1v1s. But I called it a 50-50 in the moment, but it was not. Gilius was not in the area. They had no way to take that one away. It would have been a miracle if they did manage to steal it. Now we're going to get to see what Haru can do here.
Yeah, trying to get some bot side vision here. It looks like Vitality want to siege onto the tier 2s, but it's very difficult. SK still have incredible engage, and if they're grouped up as 5, they need to be very careful here because now Alphari is going to have to TP in. And then you're not playing on waves, you're playing on fights. And when you have Baron, you really want to play for waves. With Dragon spawning in 15 seconds, I don't think we'll see too much action.
Oh yeah, true form. Here we go.
Jenax is hiding. Maybe they're looking for a pick here, SK.
Haru stepping forward, absolutely unafraid of the individual 1v1s. He starts to tear through some of these minions. Vitality pushing in.
There they are.
Here they go. Every time he kills any minion, every time any minion dies in the nearby area, you're going to get these extra little fishies, these Remoras, and they just make it that much easier to push. So that's going to be 1 tier 2 taken down. They can move into the mid lane. They can move top to support Alphari. This should be a strong Baron push, but it looks like Vitality don't want to overcommit to this, instead settling for another neutral in the Dragon.
Yeah, maybe we'll see another instance where it does so much power with the waves, but now Alphari might be caught here. Q's gonna miss, should be fine. And of course, each one of those little minion things can tank a tower shot, and that just means your minions live longer with Baron, right? So the siege is just really impossible. The tower is not really helping you clear the wave, and Gilius now looking for Carzzy. It looks like SK keep trying to send 4 or 5 numbers onto different sides of the map to try and find a pick, but Vitality respecting it on both sides. Alphari is just playing safe, farming up the Krugs while they're hovering in the top side jungle, and now Perkz is fighting Gen-X.
Well, Perkz caught out. Gen-X over the wall and needs to find a way out of that one. He's immediately going to be forced to flash. TP coming in from Alphari. No rage stacked quite yet. Cannon minion in the mid lane looking to break down this tier 2.
Helps SK a little bit because now there's no pressure top. Now it's just a 5v5.
Gilius fishing for the kick is clean! What a combo! But they're going straight first into Haru, and Haru does so much damage if left alone. He shreds through Gilius, now looking for the resets. Gadget's in the midst of the team. 4 standing for SK4 now. Gadget gets cut down. Still, though, Death Defied means he will get the ultimate out. He will slow the push from Vitality, but he cannot stop it.
Can SK defend? Baron buff is off of Vitality, and they have no wave to play on other than top. Maybe they get themselves a top tier 2 here, but my lord, that kick from Gilius was insane. 3-man knock-up. Gen-X looking for Perkz here. Does get hit by the charm. If there was just a little bit more follow-up, that could have been a miracle for SK, but there wasn't in the end. Gen-X just going to push out mid-wave. Top tier 2 falls. Vitality owning the map right now.
Carzzy going to lay down a little bit of poke. Vitality going to be happy to move back and spend some of the gold that they picked up. The second item for Bel'Veth. Ezreal doing very well, very much ahead of the clock in itemization. We take a look back at this fight that looked so good at the start.
Yeah, the angle's weird here, but the kick flash actually lands onto 3. If Sertuss had ult there, maybe they could have made some magic. He did, I think. Actually, Perkz cleansed it almost instantaneously by the looks of the spectator. So there wasn't enough follow-up with the Lissandra Lee Sin. Not enough AoE damage, and as good as it looked, there wasn't enough damage, and then Vitality just run them over.
Card the Salt, sadly, just a tickle at this stage of the game. Vitality 7k ahead, almost 8k in the lead. You can see Carzzy did all the damage. That's an ulti, that's the Death Defied. He's definitely laying down some of the Skittles as well.
Yeah, and they have a lot of mobility as well, right? The Ezreal can dash away instantly, the Ahri, the Labrov has ult, right? Everyone kind of has a way out, or it's damage reduction on the Alistar and Bel'Veth. So you have to kill them almost instantaneously to get the kill, otherwise they can start using their mobility or damage reduction to escape. And now it looks like Vitality are going to push in top wave. Looks like Haru is just going to cover Perkz for now. Still has those little, what are they called? You like the fishy things? That's what
Remoras.
Remoras. I like the fishy things.
I like the fishy things too. It feels more, you know, authentic. I don't know what a Remora is.
More scuffed.
Scuffed. But I think scuffed is like real. You know, like most people exist in the scuffed world. There's like probably 2 or 3 topics that everybody's like not scuffed about that they know, you know.
My stream is scuffed.
I know. Which is weird because you've been doing it for a long time, so you think that it would not be scuffed. But
you would think, surely, right?
You would think.
Surely.
But that's what the appeal is.
Indeed it is. 1 minute until Baron. Vitality, sorry, going to try to set up around that. It's just on SK to find and engage. Numbers advantage is what they've been looking for the entirety of the game, and it's costing them a lot. You can look at the levels right now. Sertuss down 2 levels, Gilius down 2 levels, Gadget down 3, and that's because they're over-grouping a little bit to find these picks, and if they don't work, you're just bleeding so much gold on minions.
Yeah, and just look at the individual golds for the 80 for the carries. There's leads for Camille, but it's only 500. There's a lead for Senna, it's only 600. 3.5k for an Ezreal, 2.6 for the Ahri, 3.1 for the Bel'Veth.
Yeah.
This is a difficult game, because now we're going to look at the, when we look at the gold charts, I feel like I can do this. You're going to see a lot of those names on the side of Vitality at the top. Gen-X really the only one breaking 10k at this moment on the side of SK.
Yeah, total gold presented by Sent, and there you can see all of Vitality in the top 3. Gen-X just kind of fighting on his own to keep up there, and I do believe he wins 1v1 against Alphari, but Alphari's never going to give him that 1v1. He's just going to stay around his team, and Vitality's going to play around this Baron. Look at the poke damage already coming out of Carzzy. Gilius not even getting towards his second item just there. Looks like he's going for Black Cleaver, but just on a budget right now because SK aren't finding anything in these fights. We'll see if they find something soon. Perkz cleanses 5 seconds cooldown. Maybe SK have it timed. It looks like they're posturing for him. Do they know it's coming up in 3 seconds though?
Over the wall, Perkz locked up, cleanse flash, right out to safety.
There was a 1 second window on that cleanse that SK had. And unfortunately, it just came up as the ult came out from Sertuss, so Perkz can escape. Doesn't have Merc Treads, of course, so that would have been a lot of CC, and now Gilius is on a ward.
Knocking him over the wall, Perkz comes over with the charm. They're just going to delete the jungler. He can't even go to contest, it's clean. Haru and Carzzy can more than easily solo this one down.
Oh, yeah.
SK running out of hope here. Treatz maybe goes for an ult. I really don't see any way that he could possibly steal this.
It's gone. Vitality are going to pick this up, and then the siege is going to begin once again. Haru's going to pick that up. There comes the true form.
And I got to take a moment. As much as we've been focused on Haru, and he's 2-0-4, he's had a solid game, mostly power farming admittedly through the early game. This game has been a lot about the individual skill, I think, of Perkz and Carzzy. Labrov as well. Don't want to take away from Labrov, but the fact that these guys, in the context of this game, didn't get shut down by that Lissandra Lisa and jungle duel. The fact that Ezreal was ahead in a lane matchup where he might not even been able to farm alongside his support and Labrov, who just didn't get to impact the laning phase, is a fantastic look for Vitality.
Definitely is. And if you look at Vitality's games, their lanes are winning. They have really good CS numbers in all their lanes. It's just when the team comes together, there's a lot of miscoordination. We saw the Herald initially. There was a lot of miscoordination around Vitality's decision of, can we contest it? Let's contest it. We arrive. We're too late. We should have done something else, right? The team coordination is just off. The lanes are strong, so it's a good foundation to build upon. And you can see what happens when they run away with those lanes and they actually get to the fights and they have some kind of plan, something where they're on the same page. Labrov, I think, also had a fantastic game when it comes to those engages and buying time for his team, which is his entire job.
Yeah, and I think individual performances have just been really solid across the board for Vitality this game. It's been a big factor as to why they've been winning lanes. They should have won. Carzzy now absolutely fearless.
Gadget's going to have to base.
Wants to send that man back to the Prime League. Lickety split.
Definitely does. I mean, they're going to look for an engage here, SK, surely. Oh, the ult won't snipe him, but it's going to slow down his heal. It's going to cancel it, of course, and now it's just going to take a little bit longer to heal up. Won't have the home guards either. Mid-tier 3 is going to fall. Inhib's going to fall. SK, it's on you to engage here. I don't think scaling's going to help.
Haru making a lot of fishes, but they see their opportunity to force a fight. Genix going in, but immediately you're going to see the stopwatch now coming out. Gilius fishing for a kick. He's going to kick Perkz back to the team, but he's still got 2 more dashes. He goes golden. He buys a brief. Moment, Lissandra, that's going to be 1 reset. Clones now starting to come out. Maybe, just maybe, it'll be enough, but it's Alphari on the backside just tearing through them. SK cannot stand toe-to-toe. Haru absolutely obliterating SK in this exchange.
Oh, the engage was good and they got Carzzy, but there's still a hell of a lot of damage left, and it's on Haru, it's on Perkz, it's on Alphari. Vitality gonna close this out in 30 minutes.
Vitality showing up, taking down SK. Absolute display of dominance. Now 3-3 in their first game. Week 3. Wow.
3-3-3-3 in 30 minutes.
Week 3.
Could have been 33 minutes as well.
Damn.
But yeah, I think Vitality were pretty happy about that game. Lots of objectives went their way despite the early game. SK overgrouping a lot, looking for those picks. Vitality respecting it a hell of a lot. And then, yeah, seemed very calm and in control once they got that first Baron.
Yeah. And again, as blinded as I was by the Bel'Veth, I think really fantastic performances across the board. Alphari was quiet in a lot of the exchanges just because he was the one kind of suffering through the Camille lane after those first items came through, but excellent engages from Labrov, good picks, fantastic charms, the cleanse flashes from Perkz. It really all came together for the team.
Yeah, Bel'Veth 100% win rate now in the LEC. Will we see more teams play it? Because obviously a lot of pro players talk about scrim bubbles. You know, you come into a playoff, you come into a regular season, there's 2 different scrim bubbles, 2 different scrim meta reads. Maybe Vitality, of course, won't be scrimming SK. They've been scrimming other teams with this Bel'Veth, which means other teams have been playing it themselves as well. I wonder how high on the prio list it is for the teams. We'll have to keep our eyes on that, but looks like Haru was very comfortable on it.
Very comfortable. And spent most of the time in the jungle farming up. So it seems like that is, at least for now, what we can expect from the champion. Scaling, waiting. He's a champion who scales very well. We'll see maybe if there's more early impact Bel'Veths in the weeks to come, but...
He did just full clear about 10 to 12 times, and then he just yoinked some objectives and just came really broken.
Did some good fights. Not to take away.
Yeah.
It is still a valuable thing. For now, he's even on the list for key player of the game at LEC on Twitter. Haru, Perkz, Labrov.
It's the first new champ, first time like Pogs buff, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, you're the first one to pull it out. You win.
First
it's all
Bel'Veth in the. I was about to say in the world, but that's not true.
Is it not?
No. They CLG Academy, I believe, played it as well. I'm not sure who else has played it too. There's a lot of leagues of League of Legends,
and they're all on different patches at different times on different releases, so it's hard to keep up sometimes.
Hard to keep up. Absolutely. But it was. I liked what I saw, and what I saw was mostly very fast stabby hands, which is cool. It's a new stabby hand champion. Haven't had that one before.
But definitely a must-win for Vitality, you would expect in the context of the long run of the playoffs, of getting back into the top 6, of that fight against Astralis, which I think we'll see tomorrow, who I think have come to surprise everyone. So yeah, it's on Vitality to show us that slow climb upwards.
And I'm very, very excited for that one in particular. A lot of banger games to close out the rest of the day, a lot of good games tomorrow. This is going to be an interesting week. It's going to set a lot of the tone, especially for the top 6, but also, you know, who in the bottom 4 is going to rise up. For now, it does look like Vitality. And for now, it's time to send things over to Laure and Labrov to talk about that crazy Alistair game.
It was a crazy Alistair game indeed. And also a champion that we haven't seen in a while. Why did you think it was a good choice here?
Well, a lot of supports were banned in this game, and I saw him playing versus Lissandra. And Alistair is one of my comfort picks, I would say. So I saw a good angle, and I wanted to pick it.
Right. It was nice to see the champion again. A couple words about Bel'Veth, though, the new champion. First time we see it, obviously, on the second game of the LEC. But how would you rank the champion in terms of priority? And do you think it's going to impact the jungle?
I would say that Bel'Veth is a Season 12 champion.
Yeah.
And we all know that new champs are really, really OP usually. Well, I'm not very sure how strong it is. But from my experience in solo queue, it always looks really OP. So
Yeah.
I would say it's a very strong champ.
Yeah, solo queue, it's a nightmare indeed. But talking a bit more about Vitality, we saw the early game here that didn't go so well, and that is something we noticed about Vitality so far in Summer. Could you tell me what is going wrong with you in this stage of the game, and how do you plan on fixing these issues maybe in the next game?
Well, after the previous week, we had a team meeting, and we discussed more about early game and to fix our issues. I think we honestly learned a lot after our previous week. And today's game was a bit harder because we had actually a really weak bot matchup. We forgot about Karthus, didn't think of it.
Yeah.
And that's why the early game was hard, I think.
Yeah, I was about to ask about this Karthus because we know that Gadget especially is super known to play this champion. Did you forget this champion in the draft? And when you saw that he picked it, what was the reaction for the team?
My reaction was not the best, honestly, because I didn't really want to lane into Senna Karthus as Alistair as well. But at least we managed to win the game.
It's a horror in lane for sure. But you did it well, obviously, picking up the win here for Vitality. Thank you so much, Labrov, on the interview. Congrats on picking up this one. And let's take a quick break now. And we'll be back in a few minutes with third game of the day, Rogue XL. Stay tuned.
A lion! Oh yes, the king of the jungle. Time for a quick Red Bull?
Red Bull? But you still won't be quicker than the lion!
I don't have to be quicker than the lion, just quicker than you.
Red Bull gives you wings.
You better get out your chair. Haters even be like, yeah. My crew everywhere like we in the atmosphere. Make it yell, woo, like Flair with a chair. Now I crush it on the regular. Serve your whole squad like Federer. Top of the podium like I won a gold medal, bro. I'm a ticking time bomb. I'm about to set it up. Now what you hear ain't no test. This is real as real can get. And you know my deal, I ain't one to mess. So let me get this off my chest. Now I wanna go and act real crazy like there's nothing to lose. So everybody make way, cause I know